There are currents in time, just as there are in the ocean. Most of your life is spent on the surface, where the waves seem random and the days blend together. But then there are moments when the deep currents shift, moments that redefine the entire ocean. These are the moments that don't just pass, they pull. July 10, 2025 is not just another date. It is a powerful undertow, destined to distinguish those who are anchored from those who are adrift, those who have prepared their vessel from those who will be tossed by the waves. When the divine source decreed, on July 10 everything will be recalibrated, it wasn't a forecast for public consumption. It was not intended to create panic or spectacle. It was a deep, resonant frequency sent out for those who have learned to feel the waters pull beneath the surface noise. Your world is a storm of distractions. Every single day, you are battered by demands on your attention, your energy, your beliefs. The external world wants you to react, to chase, to fear, to consume. It keeps you busy on the surface, so you never notice the profound shift happening in the deep. So many people are looking for a sign from the sky. They expect a thunderclap, a blinding light, a voice that shakes the mountains. Sometimes divinity moves not in the storm, but in the steady, silent current beneath it. The pull of the deep before the surface churns is not a threat, it is a summons. But only those who have trained their senses, their soul, and their spirit to feel beyond the visible will understand what is being offered. A deep current is not seen with the eyes, it is felt with the whole body. To feel it, you must become still, emptying yourself of the surface chatter, the fear of drowning, the ego that thinks it can control the ocean. The reason most will be caught off guard by the significance of July 10 is because they are too busy navigating the waves of their own desires, rather than learning to feel the truth of the current below. You must understand, when you are filled with your own noise, you cannot hear the symphony of the universe. When your hands are full of what you want, you cannot receive what is being given. This is why the mystics, the masters, and the true warriors practice stillness. They know that only in the quiet of the self can the deep truths be felt. A profound preparation is required, one that happens in the quiet moments. Like a deep-sea diver who prepares their gear and acclimates their body on the surface before descending into the immense pressure of the abyss, your spirit must prepare in the quiet for the moment of its descent into a new reality. Many believe transformation is an explosion. But true change, the kind that remolds the soul, begins long before the world notices. It starts when you begin to heed the subtle pulls within you, when you adjust your course, when your focus becomes less scattered, when you start choosing inner peace over outer drama, discipline over indulgence, awareness over distraction. These are not isolated choices. They are evidence that your inner navigation system is locking onto a powerful signal. And what is that signal? It is the undeniable hum of destiny, the frequency that tells you prepare, strengthen, let go. It is not a shout, because shouting is for the panicked. A deep frequency is for the attuned. When a master archer trains, they are not waiting for a crowd to applaud their aim. They are preparing in silence for a single, perfect shot that will be witnessed by no one but themselves. The same is true for your spiritual journey. You are being prepared for a pressure change, and this change will not be announced in the news. It will not ask for your opinion. It will not wait for you to be ready. It will simply arrive. And when it does, it will not test the loud or the visible, it will test the grounded. Think of a farmer who has tilled the soil, planted the seeds, and tended the fields for months in quiet labor. When the harvest time comes, others see a sudden bounty. What they don't see are the countless hours of silent, disciplined work. The same is true for the soul. When July 10 arrives, the world will be divided. Some will seem to navigate the new pressures with an impossible grace and stability, while others will be crushed by the confusion and fear. The difference is simple. Those who felt the current long before the storm hit were already moving with it. They didn't need the world to tell them a change was coming. Their own being was the confirmation. The world demands evidence before it will believe. But the spiritual path is not about seeing, it is about becoming. If you are always waiting for the storm to prove the forecast right, you will never learn to build your shelter. The divine does not send you a signal for you to analyze. It sends you a signal so you may begin your work, so you may strengthen your core, so you may shed the heavy attachments, the false identities, the borrowed goals that will sink you. The pull of the current before the storm is divine grace. It is the chance to strengthen your vessel before its integrity is truly tested. You do not need the sky to crack open to believe. You only need to feel the tug in your own soul and have the courage to respond. This is why silence is so powerful, not because it is empty, but because it is where you can finally feel the subtle energies that the noisy world obscures. There are truths that only a still spirit can register, and so you must train yourself not in how loudly you can proclaim your faith, but in how deeply you can feel the truth. You must ask yourself, when the world presents chaos, do you add to it or do you anchor yourself? When fear rises, do you get swept away or do you find your center? When the masses rush in one direction, do you follow the stampede or do you stand still and feel for the true current? Those who have felt the pull understand that life is not about reacting, it is about responding from a place of deep alignment. But you cannot respond with wisdom if you have not first trained in stillness. So many live in a state of constant reaction. Their triggers define them, their anxieties pilot them, their needs enslave them, and when the pressure shifts, they will be thrown into a panic. They will scream, "Why wasn't I warned?" The truth is, the universe did warn them, it sent a current, but they were too busy splashing on the surface to feel it. Discipline is the art of building your inner structure. It is not about self-flagellation, it is about self-construction. The reason a diver trains their body every day is not because a deep dive is guaranteed, but because readiness is the only way to honor the call of the deep. If you wait until the pressure is already crushing you to build your strength, you have waited far too long. Your preparation begins now in the way you breathe, the way you listen, the way you manage your energy, the way you choose your focus. These things seem insignificant, but they are the very materials from which your inner vessel is built. And when the great waves of change come, only the vessels built with integrity will withstand the pressure. The deep current also tests your humility. Many believe they are ready because they have information, but information without integration is a form of spiritual pride. You may know all the right words, but does your energy reflect them? You may talk about peace, but does your presence embody it? The signal is not received by the mind, it is received by the soul. And the soul can only hold a frequency it is humble enough to receive. You must release the addiction to being noticed, the need to be correct, the hunger for validation. All of these are surface noise, and noise distorts the signal from the deep. When July 10 arrives, what has been hidden will be revealed. But those who have trained in stillness will not be shaken. They will not panic. They will simply take a breath and continue their journey. Why? Because their direction is not determined by the chaos on the surface, but by the current they feel within. Their stability does not come from predicting the future, but from preparing their core. Their peace does not come from the absence of storms, but from the presence of alignment. And this is what the signal has always been about: alignment. The divine does not call you to a test for its own amusement, it calls you to an upgrade. But an upgrade requires that you delete the old, corrupted files. Many are begging for change while desperately clinging to what is familiar. They want to ascend but refuse to release what is weighing them down. You cannot rise if you are anchored to your own limitations. The current invites you to let go of the grudge, the story, the blame, the wound. Only then can you be buoyant enough to rise with the tide. So feel, not with your skin, but with your soul. See, not with your eyes, but with your inner knowing. Move, not by what is visible, but by what is true. If you feel that pull within you, that sense that the ground beneath you is shifting, that a great wave is building on the horizon, do not dismiss it. Do not anesthetize it. Begin your work. Now, return to your center. Return to your discipline. Return to your truth. The signal before the change is not something you look for. It is something you become. And those who become the signal will not fear the wave. They will ride it as if it were a gentle swell, because they have already aligned themselves with a far greater force, the force of the divine. True readiness does not begin when the danger is visible to all. It begins when the soul senses the shift in pressure. And what the unprepared mind cannot comprehend, the trained spirit has already acknowledged. There is a vast difference between reacting to life and aligning with it. When a person is in a state of reaction, they are always one step behind, always trying to catch up, always disoriented when the unexpected happens. But when a person lives in alignment, they are never truly surprised. They may not know the specifics, but they have already been alerted through their intuition, their dreams, their inner sense of restlessness. That feeling of unease you may have, the sense that something monumental is approaching, something beyond your control, that is not just anxiety, that is your spirit's sonar. That is your soul pinging you, saying, it's time to prepare the vessel. What unfolds on July 10, 2025 is not a random occurrence, it is a point of convergence where energies, choices, consequences, and truths that have been building for decades will finally crest. The world may see it as a sudden event, but the wise know this wave has been traveling across the ocean for a very long time. The laws of energy are never suspended. Every choice you have made, every thought you have held, every habit you have repeated has contributed to the frequency you now hold. The universe has never been idle. You may not have seen the scales adjusting, but they have always been moving toward balance. And the scales tip on these sacred days, not because God is a judge, but because universal laws must be honored. What you send out returns. What you embody, you attract. What you prepare for, you are able to withstand. Preparation is not a single act, it is a way of being. The ones who are spiritually buoyant on July 10 will not be those who suddenly decide to be better on that morning. It will be those who have been on the long, often unseen journey of inner work, those who have been choosing discipline when no one was watching, those who chose compassion when the world offered bitterness, those who guarded their inner light when the darkness seemed more comforting. These are the souls who have been preparing not out of fear, but out of knowing. They knew that when the pressure changes, you must already have your integrity sealed. You cannot be learning how to hold your breath when you are already 1,000 feet deep. You must already be conditioned. And how do you prepare? Not by accumulating more, but by releasing what is heavy. Not by building thicker outer walls, but by strengthening your inner frame. So many are running the same race. They collect status, possessions, relationships, approval. But what is the real worth of these things? When the vibrational floor of the planet rises, what will you do with your external trophies when your own spirit is too dense to rise with it? You cannot defy spiritual physics. When the energy ascends, only those with light spirits will ascend. You must release the bitterness, the resentment, the unhealed grief. This is the preparation. This is the lightening of your load. Because when the energetic pressure increases, and it will, everything that is not solid, everything that is not true, will be crushed. You cannot fake peace. You cannot fake discipline. You cannot fake alignment. On that day, your energetic signature will be your only resume. The world will react, that is its nature. It reacts to breaking news. It reacts to crisis. It reacts to fear. But the spirit does not react, the spirit prepares. The spirit understands that divine timing is not based on a human calendar, but on energetic readiness. When God said everything changes, He wasn't referring to your daily planner, He was referring to the timeline of your soul's evolution. There are seasons in your life you do not choose, they choose you. And this coming season is not one for dreaming, it is one for being. It is not for the mind that hopes, it is for the soul that has done the work. You must ask yourself, am I still justifying my weaknesses? Am I still waiting for a better time? Am I still negotiating with my own truth? Because the time for debate has passed, the time for embodiment is now. Preparation will look different for each person. For some, it will mean finally choosing silence over the constant buzz of technology. For others, it will mean courageously facing a pain they have long sedated. For some, it is about severing connections to people and things that drain their life force. For others, it is about extending forgiveness where it felt impossible. These are not small adjustments, these are seismic shifts within. These are the actions that build an inner world that does not shatter when the outer world begins to tremble, and it will tremble, not to destroy you, not to punish you, but to reveal you. Because all things built on false foundations must fall. And when that happens, you will see two kinds of people: those who are terrified by what is revealed, and those who have already aligned with it. When a seed is buried in the earth, it does not complain about the darkness. It trusts the darkness as part of its process of becoming. It does not fight the soil, it uses the pressure to crack open its own shell. In the same way, your preparation has been happening in the dark. Maybe you couldn't articulate why you felt the need to change. Maybe your tastes have been shifting. Maybe you've lost the desire for superficiality. Maybe you've pulled away from chaos, drama, and conflict. This is not you being antisocial. This is you being spiritually intelligent. This is the deepest part of you responding to the coming pressure change. It is as if your soul is already in the decompression chamber, preparing for a new environment your mind cannot yet comprehend. That is right. Let your soul lead, your mind will catch up. Many will attempt to prepare at the last minute. They will scramble to read books, to adopt new practices, to find a sense of safety. But you cannot cram for a spiritual exam. You cannot speed run integrity. You cannot pay for discipline. These things are forged in the fires of time and choice. And if you have already begun this work, even if you feel imperfect and far from your goal, know this: you are ahead of the curve. Keep going, keep building, because the energy of the new reality cannot be housed in a vessel that refuses to be tempered. The shift is not interested in the mask you wear for the world. It is only interested in the truth of who you are. And that truth is either strong or it is weak. The preparation is the act of strengthening it. Every true craftsman owns his tools long before a masterpiece is commissioned, not from fear, but from a commitment to excellence. The spiritual craftsman does not wait for a crisis to get serious. They are always ready, not because they expect disaster, but because excellence requires constant readiness. On July 10, the balance of strength and peace will be revealed. Those with no inner peace will be shattered by the intensity. Those with no inner strength will be swept away by the current. And so you must train now. Train your mind to hold its focus. Train your heart to respond with grace. Train your body to be a vessel of clean energy. Train your spirit to trust the process. Let go of the illusion that you have unlimited time. Time is not a guarantee, but the present moment is a guarantee, and in the present, all true work is done. Your future is not waiting for your wish, it is waiting for your work. You do not need to be flawless, you only need to be sincere. And from that sincerity, you must build the habits that fortify your energy, build the boundaries that protect your peace, build the daily rituals that deepen your awareness. These are the rivets and plates of the vessel you will stand in when everything begins to change. And what of those who dismiss the call? What of those who mock the feeling? Who say, it's all in your head, nothing is coming? They are the ones who will experience the greatest shock. Not because they were not warned, but because they refused to feel. Denial is not a shield against reality, it is merely a postponement of the inevitable reckoning with it. And when reality arrives, it does not ask for your belief, it simply is. If you have prepared, you will see it as an opportunity. If you have not, you will see it as an onslaught. This is not a judgment from God, it is the consequence of your own resistance. So prepare not in terror, but in reverence. Prepare not because the world is ending, but because a new world is beginning. Prepare not for the world's chaos, but for your soul's graduation. There is a profound stability that comes when you are ready. There is an immense power that activates when you are aligned. There is a deep peace that settles when you have surrendered to the flow. And this peace is not found in the noise of the world. It is found in your daily practice, in your breath, in your stillness, in your silence. Do not look to the external world for your safety. Safety is not a place, it is a state of being. It is in how you respond to turmoil. It is in how you conduct yourself when no one is watching. It is in the courageous choices you make when it would be far easier to stay asleep. Every disciplined choice you make today fortifies your position for tomorrow's shift. Every moment you choose awareness prepares you to handle a higher intensity of energy. Every time you say no to what depletes you, you say yes to the work of preparation. There are two ways to meet July Heng, in shock or in stillness. The first leads to chaos, the second leads to clarity, and clarity does not come from knowing the future, it comes from mastering your present. The energy of that day is already building, the current is gaining strength. You may not see it with your physical eyes, but your soul feels it. Honor that feeling. Do not ignore it. Do not distract yourself from it. Let it guide you to your inner work. Let it pull you deeper into your discipline. Let it be the constant reminder what you build in silence is never lost. It is your strength. It is your anchor. It is your core. And when the world begins to shake, you will stand firm, because you were not waiting for the world to validate your feelings. You were already acting on them. You were not reacting, you were ready. You were not looking for safety, you were embodying it. There is a fundamental error in the modern understanding of how real change occurs. Many assume that desire is the engine, that stating an intention or visualizing a goal is the work itself, that this somehow puts the universe in your debt. But the sacred architecture of reality does not respond to wishes, it responds to resonance. Energy does not follow your words, it follows your frequency. When the divine source declared that everything changes on July 10, 2025, it was not a message for those who are merely hoping, it was a signal for those who have brought their entire being into alignment. Their thoughts, their words, and their deeds. The critical mistake is to confuse clarity of want with readiness of being. But the universe, the cosmos, the great intelligence, it doesn't listen to the request you speak, it listens to the vibration you are. You can wish for calm while living a life of internal chaos. You can wish for prosperity while embodying a frequency of lack. You can wish for transformation while resisting the discipline it requires. This is the great disconnect. This is why the divine signal is only truly received by those whose daily habits, internal conversations, and silent choices have been harmonized into a single, coherent frequency. That frequency isn't achieved by thinking about it, it is forged through alignment. Alignment is not a performance, it is not an attempt to appear spiritual. It is not about the sacred objects on your shelf or the mantras you post online. True alignment is invisible to the world but deafening to the universe. You cannot lie to energy, you cannot negotiate with resonance. You either vibrate in harmony with truth or you do not. And when that energetic gateway opens on July 10, 2025, it will not amplify what you wished you had become. It will amplify what you are. That is the ultimate spiritual law. Energy magnifies what is, not what is wished for. Your energy field is the key. The quality of your inner state is the only metric that matters. This is why the preparation is not about talking more. It is about becoming more coherent. If you claim to want peace but constantly engage in conflict, your frequency is incoherent. If you claim to be ready for love but harbor resentment, your frequency is incoherent. If you claim to be a channel for light but indulge in gossip, judgment, and envy, your frequency is incoherent. These are not minor character flaws, they are fractures in your energetic structure. And when a flood of high-frequency divine energy pours into the system, it seeks coherence. It flows through those who are whole, it elevates those who are honest. Not flawless, but honest in their being. The world applauds the loud, the aggressive, the well-marketed. But the divine promotes the sincere, the aligned, the quietly consistent. There is a sacred physics at play, thought, a word, plural action, frequency. If your thoughts are, I am peace, but your words are laced with anxiety and your actions are born of fear, your frequency is static. If your thoughts say, I am ready, but your words are defensive and your actions are reactive, your frequency is dissonance. And no matter how many times you state your intentions, no matter how elegantly you frame them, if your being is fractured, your energy will be out of tune with the coming shift, and an instrument that is out of tune cannot play the new music. The planet is not just shifting politically or socially, it is shifting vibrationally. The changes are not designed to reward the clever, they are designed to elevate the coherent. This is why so many people who appear successful and prepared on the outside will find themselves buckling under the pressure, while those who have been quietly doing the deep, unglamorous inner work will rise with an unmistakable grace. There is a velocity to spiritual energy that only a still being can handle. There is a frequency so pure that only the humble can attune to it. And on July 10, when this frequency floods the earth, your level of coherence will not be a choice you make, it will be a reality that is revealed. For many, this will feel like immense pressure. They will feel naked. Because when the vibration of truth rises, anything built on a lie is forced into the light. This is the great test, and it is not a test of performance but of purity. It will not ask how many certificates you have, it will ask, did you live what you learned? It will not ask how many people followed you, it will ask, how many times did you follow your own integrity when it was inconvenient? It will not ask how powerful your voice was, it will ask, how quiet was your soul? Alignment is silent, but its impact is cosmic. There are three pillars that forge true alignment: integrity, discipline, and surrender. Integrity means your actions match your deepest truths, even when it costs you social currency. You honor your word not just to others, but to the commitments you make to yourself. Discipline means you are the master of your own energy. You choose your focus. You breathe through emotional storms instead of being capsized by them. You consciously direct your life force daily, rather than letting it leak away. And surrender means you release the illusion of control, not from a place of defeat, but from a place of profound trust. You stop trying to force life to fit your timeline. You align with the divine current and move with it, even when your rational mind cannot see the destination. Most people try to muscle their way through life. They try to hustle their way to a higher consciousness. But force creates resistance, flow creates power. You must learn to become a clean channel through which energy can move. You must clear the blockages: ego, blame, impatience, comparison, regret. These things clog your energetic pipes. And when the frequency of the world shifts, a clogged pipe will burst. But when you are in alignment, you are like a perfect lens, clear of distortion, pure in your composition, and ready to focus the light of the divine. A sacred chronology is unfolding, and just as a flower blooms in its appointed season, so does the soul. But you cannot force the bloom, you can only tend to the roots. Your roots are your discipline. Your roots are your silence. Your roots are the choices you make when no one is watching. What you do in the unseen moments determines your strength in the seen moments. And on July 10th, the light will not just shine upon the earth, it will shine through you, or it will expose you. There will be no in between. Energy does not compromise with half-truths. It either flows through a clear channel or it is blocked by distortion. That is why this moment, this very breath, is your temple of preparation, not tomorrow, not next week. Now, because the law is absolute, you will rise to the level of your coherence, not your hopes. You will receive in accordance with your readiness, not your words. And you will be known not by what you claim, but by who you have become. You must ask yourself, have I become a vessel that can carry this next level of truth, of power, of responsibility? Or am I still hoping the world will change so that I don't have to? You are not waiting for a wave of energy. A wave of energy is waiting for you. The divine flow has always been here. The real question is, are you a container that can hold it? Or are you a leaky bucket, losing your power through unconscious habits, a scattered mind, and emotional reactivity? Your capacity to hold energy is your spiritual maturity. And spiritual maturity has nothing to do with age, it has everything to do with awareness, accountability, and choosing your own evolution over your own ego again and again, especially when it's hard. On July 10th, the divine frequency will intensify. Some will rise because their internal coherence is strong. Others will fracture because their foundation was built on illusion. You must build your inner temple now, not with words but with breath, not with beliefs but with being. You must clean the lens of your perception. You must quiet the chambers of your soul. You must open the gates of your heart to let the current flow. Because energy, sacred, divine, and absolute, does not enter a space of chaos, it enters a space of order. Not the order of rigid control but the sacred order of alignment. This alignment requires a radical, loving honesty. You must look at your life and ask, where is there still dissonance between what I know to be true and how I am living? Where am I still performing? Where am I still choosing comfort over my own expansion? The answers may not be easy, but facing them is what sets you free. You cannot heal what you will not acknowledge. You cannot align with the truth you refuse to see. But when you do, when you see yourself with clarity and love yourself enough to do the work, the universe rearranges itself around you. Not because it is rewarding you, but because you have finally tuned your instrument to its song. And this is the final secret. Alignment is not a destination you arrive at. It is a state you return to, moment by moment. Each breath is an opportunity to return. Each choice is a chance to retune your frequency. You are a sacred instrument, and you don't just tune it once. You must tune it daily, with loving attention and profound awareness. Because the music of your life depends entirely on your tuning. When that sacred day comes, the world will not transform you, it will reveal you. The flood of energy will not create your coherence, it will magnify it. And so the most vital work you can do is not to hope, not to fear, but to align. Not in theory, but in practice. Not for an audience, but for your soul. Not to be impressive, but to be true. Not out of fear of what's to come, but out of reverence for the power of now. Because in the end, it will not be your wishes that see you through the storm, it will be your stillness. It will be your coherence. It will be your alignment.